All right. How's the audio? Good. Audio's good. Turn this down so I don't get any feedback. What's up, guys? Here we are. Uh, just started a 34, so I'm gonna try and, like I said, I'm gonna try and do these every 34, or every time I stop. But this one's not gonna be a 34. So, as usual, just kind of a Q&A thing. I got a couple topics I'm going to cover throughout the video. So, what's up? Um, so as of right now, the plan is that I will probably be off work until next Monday. I've got a I've got a bunch of, well, as the title says, I have a bunch of projects around the house I've been putting off. I need to finish, and my sister needs some help, which means that I have to do another project on top of everything else that I wanted to get done. So I'm taking like a week off work. I've been saying I was going to do it. Typically, I come home on my 34s, and well, as you saw on the last, on the other channel, I came home, got in that night. First thing the next morning, took off. That was Saturday morning. Got home at like 7, 8 o'clock Sunday night, and turned around and was out the door at 5:30 Monday morning. And that's typically what I do on my resets. I mean, I don't just sit and relax. Maybe I'll have a cup of coffee or something for. That's kind of the extent of my me time. So I've got a couple projects that I want to get done, and that should leave me with like 2 days by the time I get everything done. Between finishing the last project and then having to leave to go help my sister. So rather than try and do a load that'll get me, what kind of load? $600. By the time I deadhead to go get it, deliver it, deadhead to come back, I'm only making maybe $200. So to me, um, it's more valuable to just take the time for myself. Uh, like I said, I haven't really got to sit and relax much since I started this job. I think one time when I was getting the windshield replaced, I had like a day that I didn't do anything, and then that's it. I've taken time off because you're required to. It's a law, but I'm always doing home projects or whatever. So a couple days for myself. So it's a good thing. I don't. Is this working? Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not getting anything in the chat from you guys. So if you are sending messages, um, I'm sorry. I'm not seeing them. I just sent that one to myself just to see if it was working, which it seems to be. But I also think that I would probably see myself regardless. So I don't know. Um, quick update on the week. We took off, delivered that broken unit back to Oregon. Deadheaded a whole, I think it was 23 miles, and picked up another one. Took it up into Montana, and then went to Pendleton. So it was only like a 6-hour deadhead, I think. Go down, pick up the next one in Pendleton, took it to California, and then right about 7.5 hour deadhead to get home after that, and that was the extent of that week. Did okay, you know. After the week, I was still able to move 3,000 over into my checking, and I have enough saved on my EFS card to complete the next load, whatever it is, unless it's like a load to one of the Carolinas or something. I've got enough to cover the entire trip, so that one would be 100% profit. Let's see. I want to check something. Give me just a minute, guys. Okay. There we go. There's a message. What's going on, Todd? Oh, I did pass one of you on the highway. Um, so that was kind of neat. Wish we would have known that we were passing each other. Would have stopped and said hi or something, but either way, still cool. We actually have a quarter-mile strip nearby. Yeah, we do have a quarter-mile strip nearby. I've got some work I want to get done before I take anything out there. Uh, yeah, a trip to the Carolinas would be great on the bikes. The furthest I've gone is Nashville, which is that was a ride. It was great. I loved it. Yeah, I can see the chat now. Were people talking before? That is a fat boy. Yes, that is wife's bike. What's going on, Carlos? So I kind of picked up the garage today when I got here at 7:30 in the morning after driving all night. Um, I didn't thoroughly clean it because the uh, the video going onto the other channel on Sunday is going to probably destroy the garage. So I didn't thoroughly clean it because I know it's going to get completely screwed again come Thursday or Sunday. Sorry, I'm really tired. Um, so there's over there behind the white one, there's a big pile of things that were not cheap that are going into the video on Sunday. So check that out on the other channel. This right here will be probably the last upload on this channel until the 19th, just because I'm most likely taking the entire week off, just because I said earlier it doesn't make sense for me to try and run a load for, at the end of the day, $150, $200. Let you know what, Todd? Eugene, I think so. I think we're seeing it already. I'm starting to see some big spikes in the load board. It kind of tapers back off, but it spikes. I think we're coming out of this. My opinion. Do not hold me to that. I am not a prophet. I am not anything. My opinion is I think we're coming out of this. By the way, I'm not ignoring you guys. I have the tablet here so I can chat. No, it's not that slow, Carlos. What I said when I first started this is I've got a bunch of projects around the house I've been putting off. By the time I get them done, my sister needs help with something, which means I have to go to Oregon to help her. And since we're going to Oregon, by the time I get all the projects that I need to get done around the house done, I would have enough time to do one trailer for like $600. So after expenses and deadhead, I'd be making 150, $200. For that, I would rather just take the 2-3 days off and relax. I haven't got to just sit and do nothing really since I started. When I got the windshield replaced, when I was off for like 6 or 7 days, I think I got one day that I got to sit and relax. Other than that, I haven't just sat and relaxed since I started this job. So it just kind of worked out that with everything that I had, or not had to, but I needed to get done because I've been putting off around the house, and my sister needing help, and the fact that she needs me over there is going to save me a bunch of money, but you'll see that on the other channel. It just makes sense for me to take a couple extra days and just reset myself instead of just resetting my ELD. Son just finished putting a Hellcat motor in his. That's cool. I like outside the box kind of stuff. I like it. No, not yet. I am going to talk to them during that 3 days. I got in this morning and I picked up the garage a little bit. I ran over and I picked up, you can't see it, but right over there is that big pile of stuff that I mean it filled the whole back seat of the Viper truck. So pile of stuff for the video going on the other channel Sunday. But I will I will be talking to the dealership to try and figure out why those prices are as high as they are. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to get the runaround of, oh, like we had to do this and it goes this way and this happens and da 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 da. But see, I've never had a vehicle with a warranty. Well, I take that back. I had a vehicle with a warranty once. I also voided said warranty like a week after I got it. And I had a warranty on not this bike, but the one before it. It made it 14 miles, and then I voided that warranty. Um, that one still has a warranty until July, so that'll be 2 years. That's the longest I've ever. That's the longest I've ever kept any car. There you go. The longest car I've kept in my entire life has 2 wheels. Yes, yes, Eugene. That's the plan. Like I said in the last live, I am like I play video games, but I'm not like a huge gamer geek kind of thing. Uh, my there was a game that I have been waiting for avidly for months, and wife just went and picked it up for me last night. I did play it for like an hour or two today, and very impressed. And I uh, I think that'll probably be where I spend that 2 or 3 days where I just do nothing. Well, I should hope yours still has a warranty. We bought it in November. Also, I learned something the last 2 nights. Hanging out in California, you know, that 80 plus degree weather. When I bought the Streetwalker, I was really excited that it had that huge panoramic sunroof. I'm like, that's cool, right? And I'll open that thing up and have all that. I've used it twice. You know what else it does? There's no danged insulation there, so it just turns it into a sauna. I was dying last night and very unpleasant the night before. So, if you're looking to do this, don't buy one with that dang panoramic roof. I uh, I think I have a solution for that, which actually this channel might get one upload during this week and a half that I'm taking off. And that'll be me showing you what I do to fix that sunroof. But like I said, I got home, halfway cleaned up the garage, getting it ready for Sunday. Going to do yard work in the backyard and the front yard. And we got kid's birthday, and I have a whole lot of work to do on the Viper truck, that's the video that'll be going up on the other channel on Sunday. It's like you've known me for 14 years or something. And then I'll have a couple little other things I gotta take care of Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, if everything goes as planned. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm just gonna be here, which will be weird. It's not typically not something that I do. this whole free time thing. Um, in the last live, I had a bunch of you asking about circular things involving the Viper truck. You'll wanna, well, not Sunday's upload, but next weekend's upload onto the other channel. It's gonna be good. Like I said, I'm going over to help my sister. We don't really ever get time to go over back home. We're both from Oregon, actually not very far from each other. So we don't really ever get to go home and see family with our work schedules. So we're going home to see family, see friends, and there's gonna be some shenanigans. Okay? Shenanigans. Lots of them. It will definitely be a video that YouTube demonetizes. So make sure you check out the other channel. It's great, right? Thank you. Yes. More essential supplies. That is correct. Essential supplies. Or freedom seeds. I like freedom seeds and freedom seed delivery devices. And yes, it is going on the Reset channel. I live in Idaho. Um, we're both from Oregon, so it's not a very far trip. But for her to get the time off work and for it to coincide with me being home and then the kids have school and for all of those planets to align just never happens. So my sister said, "Hey, I did this, I need help." I went, "Okay, I'll figure it out." And then I found a benefit to that for myself. So basically I'm getting the trip for free. We'll cover that on the other channel too. And yes, it is on Reset channel. So it's not a big deal that it's demonetized because that channel is nowhere near monetization. So when all of that happened, and I said, "Hey babe, can you get a couple days off work?" And everything worked out, and kids are out of school, obviously. So this will be good. We haven't gone to see family since July, so this will be good. What is that noise? So we are under the assumption based on behavior patterns and traffic and whatnot that our neighbor may be some kind of drug dealer. Unfortunately, I grew up around those people, and it's very familiar. So you never know what's going to happen next door. Did I lose the chat again? No, no. Streetwalker is inside a locked gate with the alarm on. She's fine. Or if you were referring to the alarm noise, the streetwalker is that way, and the noise was coming from that way. So, I think what I'm gonna do, it just kind of happened that way. As you saw, um, I've only uploaded 2 new videos to the Reset channel. The other ones are like 6 and 7 years old. But both of those videos are edited, put together, music, that kind of stuff. And I think that's what's going to happen on that channel. Just because it's not something that I'm trying to upload every day and give you guys content every day, because I only do a 34 like once a week, which is why it's called the Reset channel, because 34 Reset. Yeah, corny, I know. It's what I could think of. But because I'm not trying to push massive content out, I think that channel is going to be, the 16, the 20, whatever minute videos, and edited and kind of put together well. And it's just all the stuff I do when I'm not working. I had months ago, I had asked, do you guys want me to keep uploading every day, or do you want me to slow down and upload once a week or once every other week or whatever, and give you guys like a really long, like 20-30 minute, like well put together video? And overwhelmingly I got every day. We want every day. Keep doing every day. We don't care that it's only 5 minutes. We want the everyday videos. I said okay. And a couple people said, it's kind of like a way for us to connect with you. And I kind of like that. Um, there's I've kind of gotten to know the personalities of a lot of you, and it is kind of like I know you. And between that and the Viper truck taking a lot of getting a lot of traction, people asking about it, that's not what this channel's about. So on the lives, we're just kind of all over the place. We talk about the bikes, we talk about the truck, we're kind of everywhere on the lives. I try to keep it focused on work, but you guys are gonna ask questions. I'm not gonna just blow you off because you talk about not RVs. So I'm we're gonna get in the weeds. It's welcome to live video. But I like being able to show you guys the other side. The not the guy that sits behind a windshield for 11 hours a day. So I like that I have 2 channels. It's a little more work, but I think it's worth it and it's fun. I've always had my close group of friends that kind of knew what I was into and what I did and that kind of stuff. And now to have all of you that I can share that with, I think that's cool. So now we have 2 channels. Let's see. All right, Todd, take care. Um, yeah, I've heard stories like that, Eugene. I have. Apparently, see, I'm playing around with the time of day that I do the live. I've done them late at night, and I've done them in the late evening. I wanted to try one right after typical working hours just to see what would happen. Um, Not getting a whole lot of traction here. So I think that we will continue to push the lives a little bit later. Um, I was getting the most interaction when I did them right around, I think it was like 8 o'clock Mountain Time. Was when I was getting the most people to come in. So I think next time it'll be a little bit later. Heck, I might do a live when we get back from Oregon. The night before I go to work. Probably not though, because I'm gonna be editing that video all night, and we're gonna get in fairly late. No, I did not just get back from a run. I used to run a lot, and now my spine is jacked, and I've tried running many times. I make it about 50 yards, and my back says, no, we're not doing this. I am extremely tired because, as I was mentioning earlier, with the sunroof and the ungodly hot inside the truck, I don't idle the truck at night. So the last 2 nights, I got next to zero sleep. I think I averaged 3 hours both nights, 3 or 4, something like that. So, yes, I am very tired. Um, once I finish this, I will go in and have dinner with the family, and I will have some adult beverages, and I will sleep like a young child. It will be glorious. By the way, that's just water. Oh, let's see. Kind of running out of topics here. I had a few in my head, and I figured it would float long enough to get the conversation going with you guys. But typically, we have quite a few more people in the room than this too. Uh, yeah, yeah, um, yeah. We do not have any beer in the fridge, so it will be a little bit stiffer tonight. Sorry, heard a rather angry sounding muscle car. It kind of got my attention. Anyway, um, wow, he's having fun out there. Leaking can of starting fluid. That's great. Um, very true. And he's apparently doing burnouts in the parking lot over there. It sounds like, which is okay by me. Very very choppy cam. Oh, you know what? I did have something that I've been meaning to talk to you guys about for a couple days, and usually by the time I do the video, I'm so wiped that I just kind of forget. Um, I've been telling you guys for months, send me an email, send me an instant message, send me a whatever. I will respond to everything. Um, as the channel is growing, uh, I obviously am getting a lot more of those. Um, if you're asking me something that I have covered in a plethora of my videos, I'm not going to respond because I only have so much time throughout the day that I'm parked and not driving. So when I park, I run through and answer all the messages and whatnot. Um, and the time I take to answer something that I've done in 6, 7, 8, 10 videos, it's time I could be answering someone else who has a question that maybe I haven't covered, or someone who wants to talk about actually starting this job. Um, I've had, I can't tell you how many people, hey, I'm really interested in this job. Uh, can you actually make money in it? Yeah. Okay, well, I've been watching all of your videos. Have you? Because if you were watching all of my videos, you would know this. No. I've covered what my gross is many times. I've roughly touched on expenses because it's going to change for everyone. Not everyone's going to have a streetwalker payment. That thing is ridiculous. Everyone's going to have a different insurance rate. So to cover expenses is, I don't know. Fuel's going to be different for everyone because of gear ratios and type of truck and blah, 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 blah. But I've covered gross repeatedly. Uh, and it's not just like one guy. Like no kidding, I get this minimum twice a day. Hey man, love your videos. Been watching for a while. Can you actually make money in this? You know what? No, can't make any money. Pay no attention to the house, the bikes, the cars outside. The things inside the house you guys haven't seen. You probably won't, unless you're on the other channel, because some stuff will be there. And I'm not saying that to sound braggadocious. Like, look at me, I have things. This isn't that much. It's a couple nice bikes, sure. It's a 15-year-old truck. Yes, we did just buy um, wife a brand new vehicle, but shut up, Chris. We did just buy wife a brand new vehicle, but the one we had, or the one that we bought, had almost $13,000 in rebates. It was almost 50% off. That's why we bought it. Yeah, there's money. There's good money if you work for it. I've had, well, I just kind of want to do this part time. Can I make the same kind of money you do? No. You're paid by the mile, so no. I just want to go like, 2,000 miles a month, but get the same paycheck as you. Can we do that? No. Um, some are for sure. Uh, if you remember a couple videos, Jack, a couple of videos ago, I took that one down to Colorado. It was broken. I had to take it back to the plant, the production plant, not the pickup yard. And there were people there. They were building trailers, and that was Monday, like 4 days ago, Monday. So where I was going with all that earlier is, you know, people want to come in and ask basic questions that I've covered repeatedly. And it's not just one guy. So, if you are someone who has done that, I'm not singling you out. Don't take it personally, but I want you to consider something. If sitting down and watching a bunch of YouTube videos isn't worth your time, you're probably not going to do well in this job. And again, I'm not trying to sound like a jerk, but when I was looking at this, I wasn't looking at this, I was looking at freight. So I was watching Josh D, every single one of his videos. Um, I was watching Dream Inspired, every single one of his videos, all the way back to the creation of these guys' channels. Truck and Travel, all the way back to the very beginning when he was doing RVs, and that's where I learned about it. Him and Josh D. So I started looking at RVs a little bit. What's going on, Mark? And there was two other guys that I can't remember their names. They quit their channels. Well, I don't know if they quit. I haven't seen any new content in months. Same with Josh D. He's just got a very easy to remember name. But I sat down and all of these people, Toe Piglet, sat down, went all the way back to the beginning and watched every single video these guys had to learn everything I could about this job. And if you can't take the time to do that, I would be concerned at your ability to make money. Not saying you couldn't do the job, not saying you wouldn't do a good job at the job, not saying you would be a failure. But when I talk about my gross revenue, that's because I'm running 10 to 12,000 miles every month. Minimum. I think I've only had a couple months that I was under 10,000. I rolled over 117,000 miles on the Streetwalker today. I started August 1st. Today is May 8th. Again, I'm not trying to sound like a jerk, but I get every day, I can't tell you how many people, hey, I'm really interested in this job. Hey, can you tell me more? Hey, I'm really curious. Hey, is there money here? And I answer these people, I don't just blow them off, but I was thinking about it today and I'm like, if you saw one video and just threw all these questions out, if you can't do the research yourself, some of it, I get it. I reached out to Dream Inspired and thankfully he was able to, he responded and he was able to kind of help guide me, show me some other channels, show me who's got good content. It's, I'm not gonna just, you're dumb, I'm not answering you. But it is something to consider. If you just want the quick answer, the quick result, you got to put in the work in this job. I'm gone from my family for weeks at a time. I got up at 11:30 last night and drove all morning so I could be home at 7:30 this morning when my family woke up. As soon as I hit my 10 hours off duty, started the truck. Um, well, did my PTI, checking the fluids and whatnot. Started the truck, let it warm up, did the rest of the PTI while it was warming up, hit the road, took off. So, to answer the millionth question that I get on this, yes, you can make money at this job. You can make good money at this job. But you have to put in the work. This isn't salary. It's not I show up and I get paid, which, that's what I was for 12 years. Now, I put in the work. I, for for reasons that we'll probably get into another video, I had something to prove. Um, well, real short. I started as one job. I became a non-commissioned officer, and I changed jobs. And to change jobs as a non-commissioned officer, especially into changing into a combat MOS like I did, you get a lot of flack. So I had something to prove. Um, but regardless, whether I went in and I busted my hind in like I did, and I got top 3, top 1 every time we went out and we qualified the tanks, or if I was the guy that just barely made it, or I went and I became a master gunner, which is a whole other topic that you can't quickly cover that. Um, I guess kind of. I know every intimate detail in how the systems talk to each other on the tank, and how it computes for the round to fly through the air and whatnot. I didn't have to do any of that, but I had something to prove, so I did it. But whether I did all of that or I was just the guy that showed up and was there and did the minimal work, we both got the same paycheck. That's not going to happen in this job. If you want the money here, you gotta earn it. Right, sorry, kind of got on the soapbox there. We're back. Hello. Yeah, I'm not doing that, Eugene. A, Marines write in crayon. B, we eat the crayon. So someone else can write that book. But yeah, and there's nothing wrong with wanting the quick answer, but this isn't that kind of job. You know, I've been doing this for 9 months. I'm still learning things. I was talking to Chris the other day. He's been doing this for 5 years. He said most days he still learns something. You're not going to get a quick answer in this job. Yes, Chris, you can. For that 1 week. The other 51 weeks, no. So what you're telling me, Eugene, is you're providing the snacks and napkins. We're still not getting a book written here. Yeah, what she said. You know, I've said it before too. Thankfully, my family was used to me being gone a lot. Um, Between field ops and deployments and that kind of stuff, my kids were used to me being gone all the time. Um, so it wasn't a drastic change. Um, I am gone a little bit more than I thought I was going to be, but I also spent 5 months unemployed, so we've been playing catch up. And well, there you go. There you, is there money there? Yeah, there's money. How much are you trying to get? How how bad do you want it? Oh God, that reminds me of a story. Oh, by the way, we were talking about Eugene. We were talking about muscle cars and having fun and exotic noises and that kind of stuff. Uh, are you familiar with It's Just a Six? I think he's a great guy. Despite everything he has, he's still fairly humble, and I appreciate that. Someone who doesn't get cocky. Uh, and I just got completely sidetracked. I saw my shirt and I got sidetracked. Oh, speaking of crayons and how bad do you want it? Kind of waiting for the chat to kind of pick up because we're approaching that time of day where it should start. The people, I'm so tired I can't talk. People should start rolling in. I hope. Uh, yes, words are hard. Um, so back when I was a prospect for this club, uh, and I was coming up, I was just a couple days away from being a prospect for a full year, and I went through what they call the gauntlet, where you're shotgun blast asked questions and you have to just quickly rattle off the answers. Some of them are club related, some of them are personal, yada yada yada. And going through and through and through and through, and it's like you're the pivot man in the center of the circle, and you got to spin around and answer all these questions as they ask you. And like I said, we're a veteran club, so there's Army, Air Force, Navy, everyone's there. At the time, there was no Marines in the Boise area in the club. I mean, yes, there was obviously there's Marines in here. There's a base here. I was stationed here, but in the club there wasn't any. Well, as I mentioned, and I'm sure some of you know, there's the running joke that Marines eat crayons. Well, Air Force dude goes, "What's the best flavor?" Red. Everyone knows it's red. Sometimes purple if you're in the right mood. So they send me out. They take their vote. I come back, and they got my patch. Like, this is it. You're like, if you get this, you're a full member. And I wanted it bad. And the P stands up. He goes, "Well, it was unanimous but one. And you have to have a 100% vote. If one person says no, you don't get it." And I just, like, my heart sank. And he goes, "Well, the guy didn't say no. He decided he had one more question." So, Air Force dude stands up again. Same guy that asked me the crayon color. And he's holding a crayon. And he goes, "How bad do you want that patch?" Take the wrapper off before you eat them, okay? The paper, it has like the label and the color and everything. Take that off before you eat it. It doesn't taste good. Well, I did not know that, Tim. I guess looking at your picture, I could see it. I like that you can keep a sense of humor about it, though. Good for you, man. I think the chat froze. There we go. Well, just because you can see the chat, Rose, doesn't mean I can. Awesome. Did not know that about you, Tim. That's that's really cool. Yeah, you do have to have a sense of humor. Down but not out. I like your personality. Very much so. And it was only a matter of time till we got a squid. Well, dang. I'm sorry to hear that, Tim. There's we all deal with loss, but when it's someone that close, it sucks. Um, well, the club just got a new prospect. A prospect we had got his top rocker, so he's one step away from full patch, and four prospects became full patch members. Um, that was uh, that was what I did last weekend. That was the last video uploaded on the Reset channel. Um, for those of you who somehow don't know about that, I do have a second channel where I tried to split all of my personal stuff away from the RV stuff. On the live videos, we kind of go back and forth, play a little silly salmon, if you will. Um, but I try and keep them separated. Uh, but that was the video that was uploaded um, Sunday. Sunday night I uploaded that one. So that was a fun trip, and it felt great to hand those patches to those guys and watch them become full members in this family. Um, we are nationwide. We're veteran first responder. We're actually international. We're 23 chapters in the continental United States, the lower 48, if you will. Um, we were started by a former member of a SEAL team, and from there, everything just kind of evolved, and here we are. Uh, no, even if you know it's coming, it's hard, and like you were saying, Tim, if it was a complete shock, that's a whole different story. I I am sorry, Eugene. I've gone through ones that we've known were coming and ones that were a complete shock, and none of them are easy. And yeah, some of them bug you for a while. So keep your head up, man. That is exactly what happened to my uncle. Random heart attack. Hospital misdiagnosed it. Sent him home. He died. Yeah, William. What she said. That's actually her bike. Yeah. That's we excuse me. I've learned a downside to this is as the hairs let go, every once in a while you get one that catches in your throat. It's great. Um. Anyway, we our, our main focus is outside of actual club business, is charity work within the community. We try and give back as much as we can. Yeah, she is a beauty, but we got to get you more comfortable riding because right now the white one's faster, and we got to fix that. Wow. I can't I can't imagine any part of that was pleasant. Okay, so there is definitely a delay in the chat. Um, because that none of that could be pleasant was directed at Tim and his wheelchair trip. However, that also applies to you, Eugene. You get the same message. Wow, that's it's like a half a day trip. That just because of the pain in your leg from the clots. Yeah, definitely a delay in the chat because still nothing. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Which, by the way, that message just came in, so that's how much of a delay there is. Oh, absolutely. I wasn't trying to take away from what you did, Tim. I was just thinking about the heat and humidity and an electric chair and going across Texas, and it just didn't sound pleasant. That's dedication, my friend. That's, I mean, you know, I sit in a chair and drive across the country too, but I've got air conditioning and a stereo and a heater and because there's things inside the white one that the black one doesn't have on the inside that make bigger explosions. Um, I've had the white one for just about 2 years, and I have been riding for, well, been riding dirt bikes for 30 years, and I've been riding street legal bikes for 17 years, and I've always been on crotch rockets. You know, your CBRs, your Ninjas, your R6s. I had an Aprilia. And then when I was deployed, they have this program for purchasing brand new vehicles from specific dealers, Jeep, Ford, Dodge, and Harley. Well, I had actually, if you go to the reset channel and you go down to the very first video with that bike that's all chopped up, dude had dumped it in a wheelie at 80 miles an hour, and I rebuilt it, and I was riding that at the time just because I wanted to do something different. So I made all of my own brackets for the turn signals. I did all the wiring front to back, wired up the new headlight, made my own bracket for the speedometer gauge. Like, the only thing that was factory on that bike was the front half of the frame. I cut the rear half of the frame off because it was bent and I didn't feel like spending the money to replace it. So I just sawzalled it off and kind of cleaned up the edges. And so it was a bobber crotch rocket. It was neat. But I wasn't real happy with it. It was something I wanted to try, and I paid $200 for the bike, so I didn't care if I ruined it. I wound up selling it for over $4,000. Which, by the way, that video was not the finished product. That was, I had finally put everything together and got it to start for the first time. It wound up getting much better. I didn't have any video of that. So I bought a Sportster, actually. The Sportster that's in the other video from the Reset channel. Was a Sportster versus Sport Bike. So I bought that while I was on deployment. That was my first Harley. And I liked it. I'm kind of a big guy. I mean, this got a little bigger after I got out, but I've always been like a big guy. And I don't fit on a Sportster. So I got rid of it and I got a V-Rod. Well, when I got the V-Rod, I found the club. And we do a lot of, like, 400 miles is a light day. That's not great on a V-Rod. So I actually turned the V-Rod into a bagger. If you get on my Instagram and you go to my way older photos, you'll see a green bike with leather saddlebags. That's a V-Rod. You'll see other pictures of that green bike next to a white V-Rod. It's the exact same bike. That's at the dealer where I bought the V-Rod here in Boise. And they had another one identical to the one that I bought. And so I parked mine next to it to show what I turned it into. All of that was built myself. The bars were off a Dyna, the fairing and headlight were off a Sportster, the saddlebags were off a Softail. I built the exhaust myself. It's one off, doesn't exist anywhere else. I put that together. I modified the factory airbox. I built my own tune for the computer. And it was great. But it started having some electrical issues, which I've heard is an issue with the tuner I was using and the V-Rod. They don't mesh real well, and I was having some problems. Was able to figure it out and resolve it, but it happened right before our national rally in Nashville, and I didn't have time to fix it. And I had to get to Nashville, so I bought the white bike, and I did a full stage one and bars and a seat, just because my back is screwy, as you all know. So the bars and the seat were a big thing for being able to ride it that far. Actually, coming home from the dealership, I almost turned around and took it back. The bars were that bad. But I was able to do that, and you know, it was fun with the stage one. And then we went for a ride, and we hit snow in May, and I decided that I would plow a path through the snow so all the other bikes could follow me. Because one of the guys had a Springer, and he didn't have enough fuel to get back down the mountain to the gas station, so we had to continue into the next town. Well, I hurt things because a lot of RPM to get through the snow like that, because it was like 6 inches, maybe more. It was hitting floorboards, so yeah, probably 8 or 9 inches. But while they were fixing it, I said, "Oh, here, since you're in the motor already, here's a couple extra parts," and that's why it's faster. Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. What's going on, Joe Maxwell? I heard a noise. It sounded like wife's Jeep. I thought that was weird. So I opened the garage door. It was wife's Jeep. Wife is in there. I don't know where she's going. I just thought it was weird that I heard her Jeep start. Oh, I know where she's going. The birthday girl said she wanted pizza for dinner. And since tomorrow the club is coming together to support her for her birthday, since we're all family and we are all together every day anyway, so we're not worried about giving this to each other because it's already happened if it's gonna happen. Like, there's not a day that goes by that some contingent of us are not together. So we're throwing her birthday as the club. But she's not real thrilled about the smoked pork and such, and she wants pizza tonight. Yes, Eugene, as long as it is wife and not someone else, which is why I said, hang on, guys, I'll be right back. Those of you who watch the Reset channel, well, you know what's in the saddlebag. Wow. Well, it's Friday, and people are probably going out and having a good time. I was just kind of expecting more people to show up here. I like you guys. You're my Fair Winds fam. Sounded really stupid as it came out of my mouth. Oh, hers is tomorrow. So that's neat. What's going on, Canada? You missed the conversation about the club earlier. We have a chapter up there. Really, Eugene? I mean, I forget how old I am, but I don't forget when my birthday is. Hell yeah. 66? Not a bad year. Well, guys, uh, we were going to ride to Canada in August for our national rally. So every single chapter was going to ride to Canada. Um, but with the thing that we're not allowed to talk about, that got canceled. And yes, we do have a chapter in Indiana, Lafayette. I'm having a moment. Yeah, our chapter is in Quebec. I think. Isn't that Quebec? Right above New York. see. What else is going on in here? Mustang, Canada. Well, Tim, you won't have. Did I lose the video? Uh-oh. Are we back? Hello? Okay, we're back. Well, Tim, you won't have a whole lot to catch up on. That video or that channel at most gets one video a week, unlike this one, which is every day. Yeah. Anyway, so it froze because um my battery is dying on my phone. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and end this video here. Uh, I truly do love conversing with you guys. I like these lives, and definitely something we're gonna keep doing. I don't know if we're gonna do it every reset. Um, we'll see. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go. But my battery is under 10%, and I still have to wait for this to upload to make an actual video for you guys, those who did not make it here, since not very many people made it in tonight. So, as always, those of you out on the roads, I wish you fair winds and following seas. Take care and have a great day.